everyone, it's Jessica. I'm just doing a quickie vlog, because I am planning to see Where the Wild Things Are tonight. I'm so excited, you guys have no idea. It was one of the, classic stories that, I loved growing up, and there's, a weird... What the heck? You guys see that? It's like a little, white. God, it's that Coke. Anyway, I need a haircut, y'all. Badly. Anyway, Where the Wild Things Are, based on the, childhood favorite by Maurice Sendak. And it was just one of my favorite stories growing up, and I'm just really interested to see how they turn it into a full-length feature film, if it's even possible. So I'm excited about that, and it got me thinking about all the other great stories that I grew up reading, and thought maybe I would just share, list a few of my favorites growing up. And number one is The Velveteen Rabbit. Not only is it about a stuffed animal becoming real through nothing more than love and devotion. I mean, it's so good. It always kind of made me cry. And I mean, beyond that, it had historical elements, things that sort of crept into the story that maybe wouldn't have been so had it not been written at the time it was. Scarlet fever. The young boy suffered from scarlet fever, and I think that story sort of showed how tragic that disease can be, and his having to throw away all his toys and burn all his toys. It seems petty, but to a child that is so much, and it's sort of symbolic of everything else that that child had to give up. It sort of forced him to grow up, this really serious illness befalling him. Losing your toys, that's growing up. I mean, that's what happens. So, anyway, I can get really emotional. What's my other favorite? My other favorite is The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. And when Shel Silverstein died, I cried. Ask my husband, I cried. I was really upset. Because he was such a great, humorous children's writer. And then, he wrote The Giving Tree, which was not really humorous at all. It was serious, and it was, one of those stories about giving all you can. And that's what friendship is, That's what love is. You give and you give and you give, and you don't expect anything in return, because that's not what it's about. That's not why you're friends. That's not why you love someone. You give simply because that's what you know to do. That's what you do. And even when you feel like you don't have much to offer, because you feel like, you're a stump, you're nobody, you have something to offer. You always have something to offer. And that goes even deeper than friendship. You could take it, just in your everyday life, when you feel like you're a stump and there's nothing you can do. There is something you can do. There is. So that, to me, is, super powerful story. And it didn't matter how many times I've read it. I'm getting teary talking about it right now. Just because it's so true. There's always something you could give. what was another? I'm not picking my nose. I have an itch. All right. What was another good story? Oh, I loved all the Beatrix Potter stories and Winnie the Pooh. But those are sort of not as powerful, I guess. But anyway, what are some of your favorite stories? Anyone? 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 Bueller? Anybody? Anybody? If you have a favorite childhood story, regardless of the the language that it's in or the format, even if it's just a story that like your parents told you growing up and you don't really know where it came from. I don't know. I think it might be fun if people were to tell me what some of their favorite stories were and why. Oh, another one I wanted to mention was Peter Pan. The book. I mean, of course, I love the Disney movie, and I'm definitely not one of those people who hates Disney. I know, I shouldn't love Disney movies as much as I do, but I don't know. You name the Disney movie, and I am all over it. Maybe not with a few of their later releases so much as like anything pre-Mulan. I am crazy for, and I don't know. It was just how I was raised. I was raised on Disney. Anyway, Peter Pan is just a phenomenal book that I would certainly recommend. The kid who doesn't want to grow up, isn't that everybody? So, okay. Anyway, probably later this week sometime I'll hop back on here and I'll let you know how I felt about Where the Wild Things Are and if it sort of was true to not the story because those people who have read it know there's really not much of a story there. It relies heavily on the imagery and whatnot, but just how I feel it sort of lived up or did not live up to the overall feeling of the original. So that's all for now, and I'll talk to y'all later.